Hi everybody. We already had our potatoes and vegetables for supper earlier, but even though I knew this day was coming, we had a little baby girl that I've been watching for 3 years, and I wasn't home probably an hour or so, and she told her mommy, she said, I have to go see Grandma. I need to talk to her. So her mommy brought her over. I said, well, what are you waiting for? So her mommy brought her over, and we ended up playing for a couple hours. Well, not quite 2 hours, but we ended up playing again. So the chicken is just now getting done, which at least it's getting done. So I had these chicken legs thawing out for today, and I just wanted to use my simple recipe, and I'm just going to take a couple eggs, and it's one of them kind of recipes that you don't have to do a bunch. But I tell you, I do need to get me a few paper towels. I like to use paper towels for this. So, okay. So I've got my old, I don't know how many of you guys might have one of these. It's an old wash pan, and I've used it for, I think I've used it for everything but washing. I mean, I rinse and bleach my dishes, and then I clean it out and use it for stuff like this. So I'm just going to take these eggs and just mix them up. But if you can look right here, this is my number 10 iron, cast iron, and I have 2 more of these over here at the side, which my husband made the big fried potatoes in it, but they've already eaten them. So I'm gonna mix that egg up in there like that. One good thing about the number 10s or the iron skillets, as we all know that uses them, is you can take them right off of the top of the stove and put them in the oven. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Oh, I'll tell you what, I had a good time. I had a lot more to speak about, but I just felt that unction to stop and start praising. So I just get myself led there and do it. Don't think about it until afterwards. So we've got, I put 2 eggs in here, but I've got the oil. I got the stove on low because once you heat cast iron up, it'll stay hot, and you don't have to put it, never put it on high, because if you put it on high, you're going to burn things, and it holds the heat. So with that, we've got this here, and I'm just going to throw this chicken in here. There's a whole bunch of legs there. I don't know how many, didn't count them, I just washed them. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to take these legs and just kind of put them into that egg mixture. My husband, he said, are we going to get that chicken tonight? I said, yeah, when I get done playing with the baby, we'll make chicken. So, anyway, we're just going to have some good old fried chicken. Sometimes you need that. So, I'm just mixing that up. I don't want to use my hands yet, but I probably will use them. So you want to mix that up real good in that egg. You see that? And I love my cast. I really do. I love my cast iron. And when you're making chicken and cornbread and stuff, it makes for a good one. And I was going to make biscuits, but I think I'm just going to do the chicken and let them sit and eat chicken. They've already had their potatoes and vegetable and dessert. So let them eat some chicken. I do have a biscuit recipe I was going to share with you that is really fun and easy to make. Very easy. makes perfect biscuits. And I used to make them all the time. My mom would come to visit, and she'd tell everybody she knew how good the biscuits was. But this is a different recipe with biscuits, but it'll turn out the same. So how's everybody doing? Good evening, Dodie. I'm sitting over here at the stove tonight. It's been quite a day. I mean, we had that good service last night, and then I couldn't sleep last night. I'm always good at sleeping, but boy, last night I couldn't. I think I was just wound up inside, and not mad, wound up happy. But got up today, Monday morning, went over and had a good day with the baby. She woke up right after I got there, and we played. We cooked together, we played. So I got this chicken here pretty well drenched in egg. You don't need much egg. I guess it's just knowing it's in there. So I drenched it. Now I used to put a lot of different stuff because I learned a recipe from Grandpa's Kitchen in India. And I used to watch him all the time. He's gone now. And some of the stuff he did, I just had to go right now to the kitchen to make it. So I'm going to take, and this is something that I put in that I have learned from that Indian recipe. India is, they call it corn flour. We call it corn starch. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And when my granddaughter and I, Kai, she's gluten-free, when we made it a couple times, we didn't put flour in it. We just put the corn flour or starch. And it does the same effect without all the glutens. So in India, they call it corn flour. So you can see how I probably put about a cup of that in there. I'm just going to mix that all in now. Listen, I know you guys don't care that I get my hands in this. They're clean. I'm just going to mix it up the way I know to do it. And you just coat that egg and corn flour, which is cornstarch to us, together in your bowl or pan. And I had these chicken legs I wanted to thaw out because I want to use them first. And my grandson, he's 18, lives with us, and he's still in school. But him and Papa will sit at the table and probably eat this before they go to bed. If not, you know, we'll just put it in the refrigerator and warm it up tomorrow. I'm having trouble seeing who's on there because my... Hi, Stephen. How are you? I'm glad you're all on here. There's quite a few on here. But if I don't see you right away, I'll answer you when I get off. Okay, so now, see how we got... It's fun. I like to mess in things. You know, I like messes. So see, when you put that egg, you wash your chicken. And when you put that egg and mix it all up and then put cornstarch in it, you've already got a nice little batter. See? But now I'm going to wipe my hands a little bit, not much. And I want to put some paprika in it. It gives it a good browning and things. And now, mind you, my skillet is ready. I've had it on low for like 7 minutes. And I can feel the heat coming off of it like a heating stove. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle paprika on here. On this chicken. And you could use smoked paprika, but I don't have any. I need to find out where I can go get some at. So I'm going to put, oh, shoot, I should have measured it for you. Oh, I don't know. Till you're satisfied. That's how you do it. So you put the paprika and then you mix that all up in there. And that'll give it a really nice kind of a taste and a browning. So we got it. I don't want to stick this over the skillet because, yep, it's ready. See, it's got a nice glazed cornstarch and egg and your first flavoring. And that's paprika, and I want to put a little garlic powder. And this doesn't come out very fast, so probably about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And a lot of people put a lot of spices, but I don't. I try to give it just enough to know something's there. And then that's what I just had, Pamela. Oh, salt and pepper. So I just grabbed these because I had them right there. I didn't want to get my Tupperware salt and pepper shakers all eggy. So probably a teaspoon of salt. And then the pepper. You put all that in there. Whatever spices you want. You can use, Rose, you're going to make some. That's good. So I'm just going to put that pepper in there. I'm about out of that right there in this one. And so I am going to mix that up in there. And it's already making like a real pancakey thin type of thing. And you could use a pancake mix or anything you want to use. Anything you've got in your pantry. Just as long as you spice it right. The way you like it. So I'm already looking at this and thinking this is going to be good. I'll make sure it's all covered. Okay, now, with my free hand, I'm going to reach down in here and I'm going to put, since Kai's not eating any of it, I'm going to put some flour in there too. And I've got not quite a cup of flour. I don't want to put a whole lot on it because it's already got the corn flour starch. And at this point, when you mix this up, you could always put, if you want to spice it to be a little hotter, I mean, I've got all kinds of spices up there. But you can put little red pepper or whatever. I don't. My husband, he just wants plain old fried chicken. Rather than just dipping it in flour, though, and frying it, I like to do this. Just gives it a little extra. Ah, it smells like KFC. So it's getting thicker now. Once you put that flour in it, it really sticks and gets thicker. I want to make sure it's all in there and not down the bottom of the pan. So here we go. We got this now. Looks messy, don't it? But it looks good. Now I'm going to take and try to wipe off some of this mess I've made a little bit. That's why I don't have my rings on. My rings, I've lost weight and my hands. My hands, I've lost my wedding ring a couple months ago. And I do not know where I lost it. It was between church and home. That's all I can say. And I thought there's no use to, I've had that ring for years and years. But there's no use to getting bummed out over things you just can't do anything about. I mean, we went looking for it and we couldn't find it. So I'm wearing a cheaper one now. If I lose that one, it's not going to hurt so bad. So, hi Paula, Rose. Yeah, it does look good. So now I've had this on low. And I'm just going to take this chicken make sure it's all covered with this wonderful spiced cornstarch, I mean. You'd be surprised what cornstarch will do for your chicken. There's a lot of things they use it for in India. Get me a piece that's got all over it so I can make room to make more. Okay. You just want to make sure that's all over there. And I'm going to put this first piece in. Can you hear it? Just lay that there. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit and then I'll turn it back down. I'll save you a piece. I'll tell you what, I bet you can make this real easy. If you was here, you'd be eating it with me. So it is good, and see how it's got like a pinkish like glaze on. That just looks like it's going to make a wonderful. I'll just set these down in here. I want to make sure I get this glaze all over this chicken, or whatever it is called. Corn flour, starch, and batter. We'll call it batter. Here's another big juicy leg we'll put in there. And I just put them like, I'll put one way and one the other so it'll have more room. And I want to make sure I get this on there. And with a bigger pan, you can do that. You can just make sure that's on there. See, that's starting to cook up real good, fry. And I'll put this one this way. And you don't want to even turn that until you get a sear. Searing it is browning it on one side without messing with it. That's why I got my big skillet out. I hope it's big enough for these. Put one down in here. And one this way. Let me put some more. And one this way. You can hear that frying up. Make sure it's all covered. You just want to eyeball it, make sure it's all covered and stuff. I don't think I'm going to have room for all of this, but I do have another 8-inch over there, so I might have to just fry some in it. Take this one and put it in the oven when it's done, and then I'll get the number 8 out and put a few pieces in it, and there'll be plenty of room in the oven for it to get done. If you put too much stuff on your chicken and try to make it big old thick, and I've done it before is the reason why I'm saying, big old thick crust and all that, your chicken might not get done before your crust burns. So it's better just to do it moderately. Let's get this out there. Let's see, that piece needs to have some on it there on this one side. Of course, you know, making chicken like this, you can always paint. It smells so good, delicious. Yeah, I'm going to have to use, I don't want to pile them on top of each other, because that's not good. So I'll kind of let you see what this one's going to look like, and then I'll get my other skillet, and I've got a smaller one too, just a tad bit smaller than this, not very much. This is a Griswold. My sister-in-law gave me this. It was my other sister-in-law's, and she really loved this thing. And they're all seasoned. I got David Speary, a friend of mine, to, he seasons these up. He's got this oven. He just throws them in. I don't know if it's outside or where it's at, but he'll put it up to 500 and season these things for me. So they're all seasoned, and I've already told my husband, don't you dare, please, please don't you dare put Dawn dishwashing liquid or anything like that to clean them out. You don't need to. So there we got the chicken in there. And let me go over here and get out that little tight space there. I'm going to wash my hands. Get them all washed up. You can only leave gooey on them just a little bit. Then you start getting all nervous. So I like clean hands. Clean hands and a clean heart. Okay, so I'll put this over here. Some of this stuff over here, because I'm done battering. Let's put the little stuff back here. Put this back. The cornstarch. One thing my sister-in-law taught me when I was very young, I didn't know anything about housekeeping or nothing when I met Tom. Nothing. Sorry to say it. But I used to watch her how she done things. And she worked in restaurants and golf clubs and stuff like that. Her name was Mary Alice Robinson. So she would clean up as she goes, put things back, clean up a little bit as she went. That way it wasn't such a good job. And I was used to just dirtying it all up, putting it in the sink and getting to it when I could, and then I felt awful because I didn't want to. Thank you, Lisa. It does look good and it smells really good. I've only got 4 pieces there, but I'm not going to lay them on top of each other. And I used to watch Phyllis Stokes all the time and learn from her on YouTube. And she's battling right now. She's not doing good at all. Boy, I miss her. Because she had these techniques that just was really good. And yeah, I just miss her being on there. I'm still praying for her. Her pastor gets on every once in a while and tells us how she's doing. So that's starting to brown a little bit. And I don't have it on medium or anything. That's still cooking. I turned it up just to get it going good. I just wash my stove handle off. And of course, you don't lean over your stove like I just did. You might get popped a little bit. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, where it's starting to sear. See it? I'm going to let it sear a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and take some of this and throw it over there. You always can find places that just didn't get it, you know. You want to make sure your chicken is all the way thawed out and room temperature. And I'll tell you, I learned the hard way. But if you don't, your chicken's not going to cook evenly. Of course, you probably already knew that. I'll tell you things you already know. I think one more little scoop will fix the problem here. So anyway. Well, I'm going to sear it. And once that's brown on both sides, I'll just take that in there and I'll cook that slow. I think I'll cook it 325 for, I don't know, I like things cooked really through good. Let me think here. Well, I'll check it in 50 minutes, and it may be done, but if it isn't, I'll do it a little bit longer. You just got to check it. But I do, these are fat legs, so I want to make sure they get done. There's nothing worse than biting into a piece of chicken and seeing blood or veins or something like that. These look like pretty good chicken legs here. Okay, so these ought to start getting seared. Yeah, they are. I'll try to show you one here. Turn them over. Whoa! I'm going to end up throwing it at you. See how that's getting seared on there? So I'll just throw him back in there and turn all these over, because this skillet cooks very evenly. So if one side's done, then we need to start on the next side, because most all of them will be done. One thing I like about iron is you're getting that heat all the way through there. I think that they're really going to like this. There we go. It's going to have a nice, I see a place here. There's always plenty of batter like down at the bottom you can scrape out. This leg right here needs some. And, you know, some people take an egg and then flour and then, you know, do whatever they got to do to make it stick. But with this recipe the way it is, it'll stick on there. Thanks, Teresa. Yeah, my husband fixed these fried potatoes, and he used to fix them for my mom when she came down. They're about that big around and about that thick, and he fries them on each side. He turns them over just like this chicken, and that's what he made for supper. And of course, I got, I think three of them, and Trace throwed another one on my plate, and then Tom throwed another one. So I had 5 pretty thick little pieces of fried potato, and they were gone. They ate them. They sit there and ate every one of them. That's how good they are. So I'm going to turn this around so this can get a little bit on each side. Salt that a little bit. This is really going to be good. I think I'll probably have me a piece or 2 of it. Remember, when I get this in there, I'm going to have to make the other pan. A lot of people don't like pepper. I do. For some reason I like pepper. My eggs, when I eat them, they look real peppery. So we're just cooking that, and on that side, and there went my extra fork. So there you are. See how that is? It's really good. Just let that cook and sear on both sides. And this is going to be heavy because this is a real heavy skillet. I've thought so many times about just getting rid of it, you know. But man, it was just so nice, and it was a gift. So every once in a while, I get it out and I use it for a lot of stuff. We've got a couple back there. I probably got 1, 2, 3, about 5 iron skillets. I think I only bought one, but these are nice and seasoned. They're not like the Walmart kind. This is a Griswold. Let's see what this one is. Oh, I don't know if I can see that one or not. Well, it looks exactly like that one. This is a Griswold too, so I have 2 Griswolds. I better watch it because that's got oil in it. That's probably the one I'll use for the little 4 pieces. That really smells good. Like walking into a chicken factory. Fried chicken factory. You like yours too, Teresa? I like to make, like when the blackberries come out and stuff, take and make a blackberry cobbler pie in them, and cornbread and stuff like that. And with chicken too, you can take one of them and put brown rice or rice and mushroom soup and chicken soup and put your chicken on top and cook it in together, and it makes a casserole. My friend, when we visited her in Texas, she made us a big chicken casserole. It was Tennessee chicken casserole is what it was. And I really liked it. I made it several times when I came home. It was pretty good. But you all know there's nothing like good old fried chicken. Hi, John. How you doing? This is really sounding good. Let's see if you guys can smell this. It smells so good. I better turn my oven on. We turn it down. I'm going to do 325. And just kind of let the... I think it's seared enough. Yeah. The chicken is seared enough, see, to go ahead and bake it the rest of the way. So you're still going to have your awesome sear and crust on it. Now, what you can do, okay, you could put foil over it and let it cook and steam into that, and then take it off at last, and then you'll have a good, it won't be so crunchy, but it'll still, you know, it'll still have a good batter on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up step by step. I'm going to take this and put it in the oven. You see, at 325 it won't burn. Stick it in the oven down here. And there you go. See how it's really heavy. Put that down in there. And I'll just grab this little Griswold out. It's a 7. And this one is an 8. So I'm going to use the 7. And we're going to get this going, the oil in it. Can you hear that? It sounds so good. I feel like it smells just like I walked into KFC. But I know this is going to be better even, because homemade. Because when you make something homemade, it tastes good. You know what you're getting too. So I'm going to let that heat up so that skillet will get hot like that other one. And I've got 4 little messy pieces to put on there, in there. 4 more chicken legs. That's good. You don't want to waste them. Okay, so it's ready almost. So, how is everybody doing tonight? I'm glad you came on. Yes, yes, Laura, made with love. It makes a difference, you know, when you're doing it because they want it and they ask you for it. So it makes me think, well, if they're asking me for it, then they must like the way it's cooked. Because like I said, my husband made the fried potatoes for supper. And I'll tell you what he put together for the vegetable was peas and corn. There's something about them, they were good. He didn't spice them up or nothing like I do. They were good, and I think it's because he made them. You know, he made them for us. So this is starting to, you can see it starting to get hot. And them 4 pieces ought to fit in there really nice to sear. So let me see. I think it's ready. Yeah, it's got that good searing sound to it. But I'm going to turn it down so it'll stay hot but not overheat it. If I was watching somebody do this tonight, you bet the first thing I'd be doing is going out and getting me some chicken tomorrow to do it. Okay, we'll put another piece down in there. I'm just going to have to use my hand, guys. Sorry. I want to make sure that's on there good. Just scrape that right off of the bottom of that. Here's another piece. And I'll just lay it the other way. And this piece of chicken has been waiting to jump. Whoa! Turn it down, Pam. Turn it down. About to see me get popped. That's one thing about these iron skillets. Once you get them hot, you better turn them down. And I'm sitting pretty close to it. Might make the chicken out of me. Okay, I'm going to put this in there like this. These will just fit in there perfect to get them seared. You have to use all that batter. So I didn't waste any batter. I'm going to lay that right here and take whatever batter I can scrape off the bottom of that. So I put 2 eggs. I still didn't count the pieces of chicken. Did anybody count them? I just want them to fit, that's all I worry about. So I put about 3/4 of a cup or a cup of corn starch, but you do 2 eggs and scramble them up in your pan. Scramble them up and put, I'd put a cup, if you're going to use, I forget how many pounds that was. You just mix that in your egg. Then you season it with your paprika, salt, pepper, and garlic powder or salt. Or any seasonings you want. You want to season it. Whoa. Okay. I had some on me. I'm sorry. People write me all the time, say, Pam, get that knife out of your hand. Quit doing that. It looks worse in the camera than it does here. So, you put your seasonings in, whatever kind of seasonings you like, but that's what I put in. And then you mix your chicken up in that. And then you put your flour in. and stuff. And that egg and cornstarch, and after you wash your chicken off, it'll make plenty of fluid, you know, to be able to get that in there. Let me wash my hands again. I think that chicken might have been sitting in the water a little bit longer. Okay. There we go. And when I take this out of the oven, I will show you. See, this is getting seared quickly because it's not up against anything. I'm not going to sit over it. I don't want to make you guys too nervous. Okay, so, you know, it's looking good. Let's see what you're... Yes. I like my hands. I can use them for a lot of stuff. So I'm going to put some more salt on that. More pepper. And you hear that. Come on, pepper. Come out of there. You can hear it in the oven and here. And they're really searing up nice, these 4 pieces too. I probably could have kept a couple of the others out and put them in here, but it's the way it is. Okay. Now, a lot of people, I think the guy in India, Grandpa was his name. I just poked the holes in them. He would take a knife and slit them, like make 2 sideways slits in the meat, and that's how he cooked his, and he deep fried them. But I think in the oven on 325 after searing them, they'll cook through. So I'm just kind of pulled some at me that way. Now I got a big pan mess to clean. So I think these are seared up pretty nice on both sides. You can see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this one down in there in the oven now. Turn the burner off. And when the chicken gets done, I'll show you a piece of it. I'll show you inside and out so you can see how done it gets on the inside. That smells good. Let me see if I can show you a picture of that in the oven. Well, wait a minute. Let me turn you around here. Okay. So it's in the oven, and so is my phone, so I got to be careful. And I got a mess on my stove to clean. Okay, so we'll just set a timer here. And I'll set it for, I think I'll do 45 minutes and let it cook low like that. There. And then I will, when it gets done, I'll come in and, when I get done with you, I'll come in and clean up. Hi. Come on in. He's hiding. He started to come in, and as soon as I started walking over there, he bolted back out. Anyway, God bless you guys, and it is going to be nice and crispy, Laura, and I love you all, and I wanted to come on, you know, so you could see the way I like to fix chicken. So, Tammy, I think by now you probably know that I was making chicken, fried chicken. And Paula, I'm putting it in for 45 minutes on 325 to see how it does. And it is going to be yummy. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll show you a picture in the comments when I get done. Have a wonderful evening, and I love you all, and God bless you all. So I hope you're well. I hope you, any kind of illness or sickness will leave you, and that you'll be well. So we'll talk to you later.